Okay, good Woch, everybody. Parshas Chukas. Quite a few things that happen in this particular parsha. Let's just open up. First of all, share the Sicha for tonight, and we'll see where it leads us. We're in Sichos Haran Tesvav, Sicha 15. Rabbeinu said, "Shu chochma u'melacha gedola." It's a big wisdom. It's a big task. It's a big trick. It's a big accomplishment. In other words, it's not a negative, it's not a passive trait, but it's actually an active state of being, to be like an animal. וזה בחינת יצא שמועס כל אשר נוסן השם חוכמה בהמה. All those that Hashem gave chokhmah in them. The word behema over there, apipshat is used to mean in them. All the people that came to construct the tabernacle, they came to do the malacha. And all those, belev kol chacham lev, it's just, and all the women that were extra smart, that were able to weave the hair on the goats while they were still on the goats. They were like making like corn cobs, like they make in Jamaica. So they were like they're doing it on while it was still on the goats. So chokhmah behema means chokhmah in them. So Abena uses here the letters. And it says behema is the oisus behema, cattle. Hainu, what it means. Shu chokhmah, it is a great wisdom. It's not a small thing. Lasot atzmoi ki behema. Okay, see, we have a problem with Avram. Hold on, just 1 second. Who cannot get in? 1 second. Unable, of course, unable to access. I apologize. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. It is a big chokhmah for a person to make himself like a behemoth. As Chazal said on the pasuk, Adam uve'ema toshia Hashem. Chazal said in the Gemara Chulin, what does it mean, Adam uve'ema toshia Hashem? A person and animals, Hashem, you will save. So Chazal said, Elu bnei Adam sha'omim madas. These are people who are really very of crafty mind. They have a quick mind. They have a really good mind. They put themselves to simplify themselves. They take away their sechel, and they make themselves like a behemoth, like cattle. Kmo shamar Asaf, as Asaf said, Vani ba'ar in Tehillim. Vani ba'ar, and I'm in ignoramus. V'lo eda, and I do not know. Behemoth haiti imach. I was like a cattle, like a... In a different place, Rabbeinu said to Anash, he said, you are actually really very kosher Yidden. You really are. But this is not what I meant. That's not what I was shooting for. What I wanted is that you should be like animals roaring in the jungle entire nights, all nights. The thing is that we spoke about it before a little bit, I believe last week and the week before, when we spoke about wanting, about the importance, the essential importance of wanting. Um, one of the immediate, how shall I say it, protective uh, shields that we put around ourselves is we want to use our wisdom. It is a shtickle koichi v'otzim yodi, me and my power and the might of my hand. We are sort of like, we learn to grade ourselves according to how smart we are, how facile and how efficient our intellectual efficacy is, how quick we are on our feet, as it were. The nikuda is that we believe that we're bringing our best to the table by doing that. But in truth, we are only doing the opposite. When we're actually putting a barrier between the Kadosh Baruch Hu and ourselves. That's the barrier of the Chokhmah, the barrier of the Seichel. As we all know, there was a very, very big tzaddik called the Alter Rebbe Reb Shneur Zalman Miladi that started a movement which is Baruch Hashem going very strong until today, called Chabad, which is a very, very important movement. And without any doubt, Bezat Hashem, I mean, Mashiach will love each and every one of them. It is during the time of the Baal HaTanya and a bit later that there was a big dispute about the system, the Shita of Chabad. And in fact, it is one of the things that the followers of Chabad wear like a badge of honor, that we are like the cutting edge. We are way ahead of everybody else. Everybody else is just way behind. We are going with Chochmah Bina Das. Anybody who has had the pleasure and the privilege of learning Chassidus Chabad, it is sweeter than honey. It's literally sweeter than honey. I enjoyed learning Chassidus Chabad tremendously. Rabbeinu, however, said that this is not the way to get to Kadosh Baruch Hu. He said it is not possible that the overriding system of the overriding truth that should apply to every Jew will depend on intellectual capacity. He said, what would the fools do? What's wrong with you? You can't learn. I don't understand. If anybody who learn Chassidus Chabad, I'm talking about beyond the Tanya. When you get into the Siddur, when you get into Torah Or, you get into the the deeper limudim of the. It's you have to have a huge head in order to be able to understand what is said there. And we actually see that even though the last Lubavitcher Rebbe, this still in Lubavitch, they still, they have an inyan of learning Hasidus before davening, and whatever it is. The last Lubavitcher Rebbe took them away from that derech, and he got them more into doing, with the shlichus, with the mitzvah tanks, and with a lot of doing. He got them into doing. And with this, they're very matzliach. First and foremost, because what the thing that they need to do in order to do what the Lubavitcher Rebbe told them is make themselves like a behemoth. Just do. Just do. He made you a shaliach. He opened up a Chabad house. A Jew is stuck in the airport. He has no food. Whatever it is, you go. You bring him. You do. You make seder for 80 Israelis stuck in Nepal or whatever. You do. You do. Rabbeinu takes this thing to begin with, and he says in Torah Chafalef, in the Kutam Haran, that in order to get all the high bechinas, in order to reach all these high madregas, there's no need to build them step by step from below. It says what you need to do is you need to get them from above. You need to get them flowing down. In other words, the trick is not to take the ladder and climb the ladder and reach the chokhmah where it is. The trick, as it were, is to prepare the receptacle, to prepare the malchus. And automatically, it will be filled with the chokhmah. What is the malchus? The malchus is emunah. Malchus is faith. Rabbeinu starts in Torah Aleph Likutei Moharan. He says a person needs to connect himself to the seichel, to the das, the wisdom that exists in everything, and gives life to everything, gives existence to everything. He says, but the light of the wisdom that exists, that gives existence to everything, is so great that it can very easily blind you, can very easily mislead you. It is impossible to actually see it. The only way to do it is by preparing a keli, preparing a malchus, preparing a muna. The muna that what? There is a seichel in everything that happens to me in my life. When you are getting into Avodas Hashem, when you are going into working in Avodas Hashem, you get the screens changed very quickly. One day you are in this expanded consciousness. The other day it's extremely constricted. One day things go like this, one day things go like that. You seem to be like uh, in orbit in a spaceship. The day and night seem to take that usually take, I don't know, 12 hours and 12 hours take half an hour, between day and night altogether, 15 minutes day, 15 minutes night, because, half an hour this, half an hour that, whatever. It goes very quickly. And the thing is that whenever it is that you reach a new frontier, the 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 thing is that you're confounded by many different. Sometimes you don't feel well physically. Sometimes you feel bored out of your mind. You don't feel like doing anything. Sometimes you try to concentrate by learning and you can't learn at all. So whatever it is, sometimes things are going fantastically well. You know, it keeps on changing. And whenever it is that you're facing the first you the your first view of reality, when you meet it, this new reality that you're facing, you feel stuck. I mean, this is beyond my pay grade. I mean, I've not trained for this. I didn't sign up for this. What am I supposed to do with this? First thing is make yourself like a behemoth. What is a behemoth? Reb Nosson says behemoth means don't try to reach and understand and analyze what. First of all, believe that this is your avodas Hashem. Whether it's some problems in Shlom Bayis, it can be financial problems, it can be emotional problems, it can be spiritual problems, it can be this yo-yo joyride of up and down and up and down and up and down, whatever it is. The first thing is stepping back with Emunah. This is my avodas Hashem. No. And what am I supposed to do with it? As a human being, my first impulse is to get out my toolbox and start tinkering with it. You open the screw, you change this valve, you fix it. You go to an analyst, to explain things to you. You try to, first of all, be a behemoth. Behemoth hayiti imach. I'm like a cattle. I'm just like a cow standing on 4 feet, looking sweetly to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is my avodas Hashem. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with it? I don't know. I ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ultimately, where we have to reach, what Rabbeinu wants us to reach, he wants us to reach that which is beyond, which is before the intellect. Because no matter as much as you get the Kodesh Baruch Hu, any kind of fasaga that you get, any kind of attainment that you get, any kind of intellectual, realization and awareness, any kind of das that you get, is already not a Kodesh Baruch Hu. I remember years ago, many years ago, I saw a cartoon, a series called BC. So this caveman supposedly is sitting in this cartoon, and he's like sitting on a rock and he's thinking. And suddenly, ping, there's a light bulb, lights up. That's the cartoon language of an idea, right? So a light bulb goes on. Then you see him thinking again. And then the light bulb comes up. again. Then he's thinking, and the light bulb comes up again. So then there is the last drawing of this strip is it moves, it zooms back, and you see him sitting on the rock with light bulbs all around him, and he says, "I'm looking for an idea, and all I'm getting is light bulbs." The thing is that any kind of a saga that you get in a Kodesh Baruch Hu is already not a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Why? Because it's inside your kalim. The whole idea, the epitome of what you can get to is to want a Kodesh Baruch Hu, is to look for Kodesh Baruch Hu, is to yearn for Kodesh Baruch Hu. To yearn Kodesh Baruch Hu, to the Rabbeinu says in Torah Zayin, in the second Chelek Likutei Moharan, he says that when a person goes through the process of das, of bringing in makifin, we said many times there's a makif, there's sechel pnimi, and the pnimi, the or pnimi is the sechel that you understand, and the makif is that you don't yet understand. And the process is always to bring the makif inside. And when you bring the makif, the surrounding light, which is the next thing that you're going to know, inside to your kelim, you're getting a new makif. The idea is all the time searching for new makifin, to bring new makifin in, because it is the search of bringing the new makifin, which is the real avodas Hashem. Baina says in Torah Vav that in Chelek Aleph that we have to do tshuva on tshuva. Why? Because when it says, I'm not talking Bechlal, getting, in the madrega of doing tshuva when you clap on your heart and you didn't even mean it. I'm talking when you really, really, really did tshuva on everything completely. You only did it, to the level that you were able to be Maseh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is far greater than that. So what happens is that when you do tshuva, you are bringing in a new makif. Now you realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is far greater than you ever thought, which means that the tshuva you did to get this new makif inside was only appropriate for as great as you thought you used to think HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. Now you realize he's much bigger than that. There's a very famous story about Rab Sadia Gaon that went on a ship to Istanbul, and when he arrived in Istanbul, one of the rich people of the town, took him. He didn't know who he was, but that's the way it used to be, when Jews need to travel for months or weeks, whatever it is, in ships, whatever it is. So they would come, and people from out of town would be taken by the town folks to their houses, to be their guests. And his host was extremely gracious with him. Extreme. I mean, he gave him his quarters. He didn't know who he was, but he was very, very nice to him. He was very hospitable to him. And they had this posters around town that everybody is invited to the drasha by Absadia Gaon. It's a Gadol Ador. It was like a Absadia Gaon. And his host, comes to shul together with everybody. And when they call Absadia Gaon, to darshan, to give the drasha, lo and behold, he sees his guest is coming, and he's giving the drasha. The guy almost fainted. When the drasha was over, he fell to his feet. He fell to his feet, He started crying and he asked him for forgiveness for not honoring him properly. So Saigon says, "What are you talking about? I mean, you received with such generosity and graciousness." He says, "But but I didn't know who you were. Had I known you were Reb Sadia Gaon, I would have, it would have been a lot more. This is what we mean, tshuva al tshuva. Yes, we do tshuva. We do tshuva. We don't know who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. We're doing tshuva according to what we think HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. But then when you do tshuva, you get a new saga, who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. And you have to do tshuva on your previous tshuva. Because it was only good, for just having a regular guest, not Reb Sadia Gaon. It was only good tshuva for who you thought HaKadosh Baruch Hu was, but not who now you understand HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. That's why tshuva is a constant thing. You always do tshuva on tshuva. Reb Nosson writes in Hilchos Tefillin, he writes that there are kavanas, the intentions, that the Kabbalistic intentions that a person does when a person puts on tefillin. So he says that basically, overall, the kavanah of tefillin shel yad is, first of all, you make a kavanah of Shem Eke. Shem Eke is Aleph K Yud K. In Hebrew, it means I will be. Ani yetzlecha be'od, I will be by you in whatever. That's the name Eke. This denotes the Kesser. It denotes, as Rabbeinu says in Torah Vav, Ana zamin lemeve, I'm preparing an existence for myself. I'm going to be. I'm preparing a being by you at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Right? So the first kavona is Shem Eke. Then the kavona is Shem Avaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Tishbohu, Hoyo, Hove, V'yeh. And then the last name is Shem Adnei, Aleph Lamed Nun Yud. The simple name of Emunah. Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, Adnei, Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, that's the name of Emunah. Eke is the name of the Keser, the highest Madrega. Havaya is the name of the Tiferes, of the Zeranpin. And Adnei is the name of the Malchus, that's the lowest. Tefillin Shel Rosh, the Kavanah Tefillin Shel Rosh is Eke, Havaya, Eke. You start with Eke, and then you get Havaya, then you get Eke. Nosson explains that Tefillin Shel Yad typifies our own avodah, the avodah of simple people. The Kavanah Tefillin Shel Rosh typifies the Kavanah of the tzaddikim. That's why tzaddikim serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tefillin Shel Yad, it starts with an eke. It starts with kisufin. It starts with yearning. Eke, I want to be. I want to reach. I want to get to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's eke. Well, since you're coming with such kisufin, such yearning, you get Havaya. Havaya means it shines to you. The makifim come inside. Shem Havaya means it's shining to you. You get a glimpse, you get an awareness. You get a das. You perceive a Kadosh Baruch Hu according to your Madrega. And then this asaga is taken away from you. Yesterday you used to be on such a high. You felt like, like you touching the sky. Today you can't get yourself out of bed. What happened? Because that's the way it is. You start with an eke, you get a vaya, you get the light, then the light is taken away because you are going into a higher madrega. So what you have left when the moichin is taken away from you is with was that which is called reshimu. It's a memory. It's an imprint. The delight was there. Yeah, it's true that I'm no longer in a high. I'm no longer, I don't, things are not shining to me. I'm not like going and, being unbelievably whatever. But I've been there. I touched it. I remember that. There's a glow that is left behind. That glow is emuna. I was there. And that glow keeps me going until I'm able to work myself up, to new eke, to new kisufin, to new yearning, to new, waking myself up to get up to Kodesh Baruch Hu, upon which time I will get Mitzvah Hashem, the Shem Havaya, and then will come time, it'll be taken away, and I'll be left with the afterglow. But the tzaddikim is the kavanat tefillah shel rosh, which means they start out with eke. They start out with kisufim. They want the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the yearn for Kadosh Baruch Hu. Well, as we said before, you yearn, you get. So get Havaya. Once they get Havaya, they don't wait for the Havaya to be taken away. Because the Shem Havaya, that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking to watch, to admire, wow, look what I got, what I was able to perceive. I have a Gevaldige Chiddush, just check it out. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for Kadosh Baruch Hu. They don't want a light bulb. They want a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So what they do is they remove the Shem Eke by themselves and they go to the Eke again. It's always Eke, Havaya, Eke, Havaya, Eke, Havaya, Eke. They're constantly striving to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what, Bluza Kenning says Rabbeinu was renewing himself on every single breath. It's a new existence, a new Ishtoikikos. It says in Sichos Haran, it says that anybody who saw Rabbeinu, well, what he was doing tshuva, he said he was so brokenhearted. He says that the newest Baal tshuva that just came out of who knows what would never, ever, ever get such a broken heart like Rabbeinu had when he was doing tshuva. Everything was b'pshitas. Everything was simply. Just yearn for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Behemes hayiti imach. I'm like an animal with you. I'm like a behemoth with you. I want you. I yearn for you. But where's the fun? The Yetzer Hara says, man, you worked so hard. You got to enjoy yourself a little bit, something. Wait. Enjoy the view, man. Take some pictures, take a selfie. I don't know. Just something. You got a new saga, there's this. Relax. Eat something. Whoa, dude, did you unbelievable. Whoa. That's for us. You seek HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Behemes hayiti imach. Rabbeinu says in Terech Aleph, he says that you will get all the sagas. You will get all the chachma. What you need to concentrate on, as Arizal says, is always making the kelim. And the kelim, Rabbeinu says, and this is Ba'aloischa, as Pnei Anoyes Yeir Shivas Haneros, he says this is the union of you sanctify your holy menorah. Holy menorah is your face. The 2 ears, the 2 eyes, the 2 nostrils, and the mouth. The ears Sanctifying the ears is obviously not to hear Lashon Hara and stuff like this, but basically it means emunas chachamim, believe in chachamim. And sanctifying the eyes means don't look at things you shouldn't look at. And sanctifying the nose is Baricha B'Yiras Hashem. You should have a Yiras Shamayim. Be afraid of doing things you should not be doing. And the mouth means be careful not to say sheker, not to say a lie. So if you don't look at what you're not supposed to look, you don't say what you're not supposed to say, and you have emunas chachamim and yiras shamayim, the seichel that you get will flow down to you the way it flowed down for Shimon Bar Yochai. Shimon Bar Yochai didn't have to work hard. Moshe Rabbeinu came to him. Eliyahu Novi came to him. Rabbi Abnuna Saba came to him. Because the secrets came to him and told themselves to him. He didn't have to reach anywhere. Because he was all about sanctifying himself. It's all about it's all about wanting. It's all about will. I want HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want Torah. I want Kedusha. That's what I want. That's what I like. And Rabbeinu says it's a big chokhmah to be able to do that, because it's such a temptation to use our intellect. And we don't have to be Einsteins to have this temptation. Anybody feels good when he's able to chop something, like, check this out. It's a human nature. Everybody likes to lean back and enjoy his own asagas. Wait, just a second, I learned, I became a rabbi. Check me out, man. It's just all the time to keep on running and running and running with this, with 90 pounds of a backpack, over the hills. I mean, let me get some rings, some medals, something. But that's only for this world. This is when you're using chokhmah. It's extremely tempting, and it's tempting shebekdusha. I'm not talking about tempting chas v'chalila for veras. I'm talking about be a yid. I'm talking about a yid yiras shamayim, learning Torah, davening. There's temptation to use your seichel, because to be like a behema, you have to re-want all over again. And it's not a pleasant experience. It's not a pleasant experience. Even begashmius, that's the main reason why most of the people are not billionaires. Because the billionaires are nuts, and they have this overdrive of wanting, insatiable want for greed. And they will just go to any length. Okay, so they get all this money. By a normal person, when there's an absolute need and he has to meet the bank and he has to pay his mortgage, he has to pay his rent, whatever it is, besides he will go out. Usually, he will take the easiest way out is to get some credit from the bank. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, where am I? Most of the people are like that. You should know. For 30% of the Haredi population, 30% of the Haredi population reach a point where they have minuses in the banks, just everything explodes to pieces. 30%. Because it's an easy way out. Or you got a minus in the bank. Let's just give you a loan. Just give you an extra credit, extra this, extra that. It's not your money, so you spend it. It's a very understandable temptation to hold yourself back. Reb Nosson says that there is seichel, where a person needs to use a seichel, and there is where a person is supposed to use to make himself a behemoth. And he says when it has to do with where your mind reaches, be simple. Be a behemoth. Do what you're supposed to do. You're into HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't try to get things which are way beyond your pay grade. Don't do it. It says, however, when it comes to deeds, how are you behaving yourself? How are you conducting your life? Both spiritually and physically, financially. Over there, you have to put seichel. It says most people, Reb Nosson says, they flip it over. When it comes to chokhmah, they try to reach who knows what. But when it comes to doing, he says all those philosophers, usually they behave like the worst possible. They do great averis and stuff like that. Or they live incorrectly. It's just the easiest way out. It's supposed to be the other way around. When it's a sagas, when it's a avodas Hashem, be simple, be behemoth, cry out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You tried, you failed. You tried, you failed. Come to Hashem. Hashem, I'm stuck. If I'm stuck, that means I'm looking at my reality wrong. That's the meaning of being stuck. If you feel that you're stuck, that means that you're looking at reality the wrong way. The first thing is be a behemoth. That's my reality. That's what I see. All right. So that's my avodas Hashem. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that will give me good aids on what to do. Sometimes things can be very, very difficult. I mean, when you lose taste for davening, you lose taste for learning, and your mind is getting you out of your mind. It's not a small thing. It's not an easy thing. And you have nothing to lean on. You feel like you're all alone. So first of all, you come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with it. And the first vision, this, including my incapacity and my lack of ability to deal with it, this is my avodas Hashem. So first of all, I daven for it. Secondly, I accept it. That's my avodas Hashem. That's the way. This is exactly the place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to be right now. I'm doing something now. It seems to me that I'm a quivering bundle of inadequacies, but in truth, I'm serving Hashem. By what? By understanding this is my avodas Hashem. And I'm crying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm asking him to help me. I'm asking him to deliver me. And I'm waiting. The waiting part is the emunah. Obviously, talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the emunah. Understanding that this avodas Hashem is emunah. But ultimately, the biggest manifestation of emunah is waiting. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's under control. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is running the show. But bring me the monkey wrench. Let me open up this, this lug and whatever it is, and change the valve. And you come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you realize that's your avodas Hashem. You cry out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you wait. And it's a great chokhmah to do it with, because it's so counterintuitive. It's exactly the opposite of what we want to do. When it comes to intellectual thinking, I want to be, whoa, man, I want to reach, I want to know, I want to make these meditations, things coming from above and whatever it is, that's what I want. But when it comes to, to behaving, he says, brother, can I bum a cigarette from you? You got me, you can maybe have 100 shekels for me until Tuesday or whatever. It's just like this kind of like, or doing things that should not be done, or looking at things that should not be looked at. And it says, flip it over. When it says, is a chokhmah and a malacha g'dayla. Chokhmah and a malacha g'dayla. B'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should help us all. Should all have a great week. B'ezrat Hashem. So Chodesh Tammuz. Tammuz is the month to guard the eyes. Tammuz is the right eye. Av is the left eye. Tammuz is actually harder than Av, even though the 3 weeks start in Shavasa B'Tammuz. Every month has its own combination, Shem Havaya Baruch Hu. And Tammuz is the din shebedin. It has the kavanah of this month is Shem Havaya B'Achoraim. This is K, and then this Vav, and then this K, this is Yud. Exactly the opposite. This is reverse order. In Av, it's already, the first part is K Vav, and the second part is already a Yud K. Because the second half of Av is already Chasadim. Tammuz is Kuloi Din. Completely the opposite. Shem Havai, Yud K Vav K, that's the Chasadim. K Vav K Yud is exactly the opposite. It's a month, which is a summer month, and when you go in the street, women are not very tzniistic. And b'chlal, it doesn't matter. It's not a question of age. You can be 108. You see a woman, you go nuts. There's no way for a person to be in the presence of a woman without it shifting something in his mind. There's just no way. We're not built that way for this not to affect us. Rabbi Yochanan from the Gemara said that. Okay, for he could do it. All the rest, guard your eyes. Hashem should help us. V'zat Hashem should all be zeicha to a very, very good week. A week of bracha, a week of atzlacha, a week of gesund, a week of everything good. V'zat Hashem, we will meet on Monday with Sipur